Hello, my name is Elijah Blau. I'm an Amazon best-selling author and the founder of Financial Anatomy, the Sawduster Society, the SHS Podcast, the Self-Made Business Academy, and of course, the Veggie Outers. I've been vegan for over 13 years. Back when I used to work at Amazon, when the shift had ended, I decided to take some of my friends to a vegan restaurant to shut them up because they kept interrogating me about what I was eating for lunch. That eventually turned into what we know as the Veggie Outers. In 2016, I started the Veggie Outers to help people transition to a plant-based diet or at least start eating more plant-based foods. We've since evolved into a social group of people that provide a place for people with healthier ambitions to hang out with and have fun while they make new friends with similar interests. Join us as we visit another restaurant and give their food a try.
I would rate it probably like an 8 or 9.
So like an 8.5?
Yeah.
Half in the middle?
Yeah.
On a 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7.5.
I would say a 10. It was delicious. It had a little kick to it, spice.
But value-wise, I would say this is like a 9.
What do you get on a scale of 1 to 10?
10. Yeah, I really like the chickenless ranchero. It was really delicious. Yeah.
Sup, Veggie Outers? I got some bad news. Unfortunately, when I was recording the footage for this meetup at Pizza Buzz, my mic ended up giving out on me. So that means it's freaking useless now. And a lot of the reviews that I did with y'all, the video was showing, but there was no audio that was recorded. I've gotten a new mic since, but mics do give out. It just happened to give out at probably the worst time possible. But don't worry, we're still gonna do the review because I have the scores of everyone that was affected. I messaged them afterwards and let them know the situation. And the details that they gave in the scores, the customer service, atmosphere, the food, and the price, those were given too. Plus, I do remember what was said too, so we can still do the review. I'll just have to personally share what everyone said as opposed to you seeing what they did say. So let's go ahead and roll with it. Who knows, maybe we'll actually find a new creative style that we can kind of weave into our current style, for the next review. So let's go ahead and proceed with the review. So right off the bat, I do need to let y'all know about a situation that happened that pretty much impacted everyone. During the actual ordering for the pizza, turns out that they ran out of vegan cheese. Now, most of us had ordered, but about 3 people had not ordered. So that means that they were not going to be able to provide anything on the vegan menu, which is vegan pizza in this case for them, because they didn't have any vegan cheese. So what we decided to do was I just started something called the Veggie Outers Pizza Fund, where I just asked everyone who was going to receive an order, because they ordered before the cheese ran out, if they'd be willing to donate a slice of pizza, put it on a plate, the slices would stack up so that the people who wouldn't be able to order anything now can still grab something to eat from that pizza charity, if you will. And it worked out pretty good. But everyone is going to have something to say about the fact that they ran out of vegan cheese and how it impacted their experience, especially me. So with you knowing that going forward into the review, let's go ahead and hop into what people thought about it. So we're going to start with sharing what Lynn and Sharon had to say about the Pizza Buzz. So when I talked to Sharon, she gave the food an 8, atmosphere 6, customer service 10, and price 7. She wanted this mentioned that the fact that they offer any type of vegan pizza is a bonus in general, and she greatly appreciates it because she's actually from that area. She lives in that area, so that area is kind of sparse for vegan options. So the fact that they have vegan pizza available is just a huge bonus for her. And she felt the proportions of cheese, sauce, and meat or veggie meat and veggies were perfect, and the staff was very accommodating. And she also did get a beverage. I think it was a large Molotov for $5, and it was well worth it. So that was her commentary in terms of her experience with Pizza Buzz. Next, we're going to share what Lynn had to say. She got the dill pickle pizza, and she gave the food a 10, atmosphere a 7, customer service 10, and a price an 8. She has some interesting things to say about the atmosphere. She just kind of felt that it is a gas station kind of turned into a restaurant. So she didn't really think it was anything special, but there wasn't anything in particularly bad about it. But she's seen better atmospheres. That's why she gave that a 7. And she really, really, really enjoyed her pizza. I mean, you see she gave it a 10, but I was there and I can judge from how fast that plate got empty. She really, really enjoyed that. So, yeah. Now, as much as I would like to sit here and continue giving this review, I do have stuff to do throughout my whole day. So I'm going to actually take y'all with me because I have to head to one of my rental units that I have on Airbnb to take care of an issue. So let's move on to the car. All right, so I'm in the car getting ready to head to one of my rental units that I have on Airbnb. But let's go ahead and share some of what the other members had to say about Pizza Buzz before I take off. So next we have Sierra and Rusia. Sierra, her score is on the screen right now. Overall, she liked the place. The whole running out of vegan cheese thing wasn't too big of a deal. But in general, the scores given were pretty generous. The food, the customer service, the atmosphere, and the price. As far as Rusia goes, she is one of the people that was impacted by them running out of vegan cheese. But we were able to get her some pizza because everyone pitched in to donate a slice. Ironically, she didn't hold them running out of vegan cheese against them too much, even though it did impact her. She pretty much gave everything a 10 except for the price. And even though she had to cancel her order because they didn't have any cheese left to make vegan pizza for, she did comment on the prices that were on the menu, and they were a little too pricey to warrant a 10 score from her. But it's about time for me to go ahead and get my day started, but don't worry, I'm taking y'all with me. Let's see what we got here. Looks pretty clean. The guest that was in here, y'all took care of the unit fairly good. That's refreshing to see. So we parked the camera here. We just adjust it. And we'll go ahead and continue the review. As you can see, I'm inside one of my rental units that I put on Airbnb. And before I get started on taking care of business here, let's go ahead and continue the Veggie review for Pizza Buzz. So the next people we're going to talk about is Gregory, aka G Wiz, and Damon. We'll start with Damon first. So I almost called him Aider during the meetup because he just almost gave like a full score of 8 for everything. He gave the food an 8, atmosphere 8, and customer service an 8 too. He was very understanding of the fact that they ran out of vegan cheese, which caused some people to be left out of the experience somewhat. But he was understanding of that fact. He probably figured that they weren't expecting for a big group of people who were going to be eating vegan foods to come in. So it is what it is there. He very much enjoyed the food and he thought the atmosphere was okay. The only thing that he didn't rate an 8 was the price. And it might have been just to break the trend, who knows, but he decided to give the price a 7 because he figured it was just a tad bit too expensive given the portions that you experienced. Moving on to Gregory, aka G Wiz, he almost gave everything a 10 across the board. With him having a server industry background, he kind of was understanding of the fact that they ran out of vegan cheese for the same reasons that Damon was. He gave the food a 10. In fact, he made the comment that this vegan pizza might be more preferable for him versus quote unquote real or meat pizza. So that was interesting. He thought the atmosphere was good based on the history of the place. He's actually more familiar with what it used to be, but it obviously used to be a gas station, then it used to be a meat restaurant. And here more recently, Pizza Buzz has popped up and they've had a vegan menu since they've opened, which is very admirable. He did drop the score on the price though. For a similar reason to Damon, he gave it a 6.5 because He thought that the prices were just too high based on the portion size that you're getting. Now, I did mention that I'm in one of my rental units, and this would be a good time to bring up the fact that this review is sponsored by myself. I'm a real estate investor who buys houses for cash in a reasonably short time frame. If someone is looking to sell their house, I can actually buy their house within 1 to 3 weeks. And the good news is they won't have to deal with any expensive realtor fees or anything like that. Where this comes into play for you is if you happen to know someone who is selling their house, if you connect me with them and I'm able to buy their house, I will send you a check for $1,000. That's 1 with 3 zeros is followed afterwards, just for playing what I like to call Business Cupid. The same thing applies for if you know someone who's looking to buy a house. Based on wherever they're looking to buy a house in, if you connect me with them and I'm able to help them get into a house, then I'll send you a referral fee. If you want to know more information about this, you can call or text the number that's on the screen or go to www.elijahbuyshomes.com. Now, I need to go ahead and get started on taking care of business in here, so I'll see y'all once I get back in the car. Okay. Back in the car. Don't mind the wavy camera. Not using my phone mount at the moment. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab something to eat and we'll finish this review. So I just pulled up the Ann's Health Food Store. Gonna grab me some Iconic, and while I'm in there waiting on my order, we're gonna go ahead and continue the review. All right, sitting here waiting for my order from Iconic Eatery. It wouldn't be right to show my food here in a Pizza Buzz review video, so we're not gonna do that. So moving on to the next person in the Pizza Buzz review, we have Gail. And unfortunately, she was a casualty of what we talked about before as far as them running out of vegan cheese and then they weren't able to serve everyone. She got a chance to try a different variety of pizzas, and she got to eat the moment she arrived because she arrived a little late. So overall, she enjoyed the food. She thought the pizza was pretty tasty. It's unfortunate that they ran out of vegan cheese, but it is what it is. She enjoyed the atmosphere for what it was, and the customer service. She found the waiter to be very accommodating and very serving. And the price, even though she did think it was a little pricey, she kind of understood because it's quote-unquote pizza. But we're going to go back home and finish this because, like I said, I'm not going to show food from another restaurant in this restaurant review. So I will catch y'all when I get back home and we'll conclude this video review. So I'm back sitting comfortably in my set. Iconic Eatery was pretty tasty, but we're not going to talk about that. We're keeping talking about Pizza Buzz. Now, the only person's review that remains to be said is my review, and I have some interesting things to say. So I thought the food was 8 because I'm rating it compared to other vegan pizzas, right? And it is among the higher tier of vegan pizzas, but it's not the best. I still think that, unfortunately, they're closed down now, but Vegan Voodoo actually had the best vegan pizza I've experienced, followed by Lovin' Hut and Iconic Eatery. And where does this fall in the mix? I think it's a tie between this and Iconic Eatery in terms of taste. I'll probably give Iconic Eatery the edge because they use lion's mane for their meat substitutes, which is a mushroom, versus Pizza Buzz uses soy. I'm going to prefer to avoid soy when I can. But in terms of taste, I think they're probably tied. Anyway, I would give the food an 8. As far as the atmosphere, I'm going to have to kind of agree with everyone that it wasn't anything necessarily special. But I wasn't expecting anything special when I saw the outside. So just comparing it to other places, I think an 8 is appropriate. Customer service. Now, this is a real interesting scenario. I actually want to rate customer service low because them running out of vegan cheese I don't find appropriate. But I'm going to take into account that the Keller, Watauaga, North Richardson Hills area doesn't have a lot of like vegan options out there in the first place. So the fact that they're offering vegan options, is a good thing, but they may not be prepared for a huge amount of volume of vegans coming in to eat vegan food, or just people eating the vegan food in general. So I'm not gonna take that into consideration when I give my score, but I'm gonna put a contingency in place. So my actual score, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a 9 because the waiter was on it. Like, he was checking on us regularly. I think we saw him probably every 7 minutes, and not like in an annoying kind of way. He would poke his head in, just check to see if we were okay. And he would always be bringing water, doing refills, bringing the pizza out. And when we were all settled, he actually did check up to ask if we wanted the checks at a reasonable time. Sometimes restaurants will take too long to ask for the checks, then we'll have to ask for the checks. That wasn't the case here. So I'm gonna give the customer service a 9. Plus the staff in general, not just him, but everyone was pretty accommodating and nice. But here's my contingency. I wouldn't want what happened to us to happen to you. So if you're coming with a big group, I would call ahead of time, ask them, do they have enough vegan cheese to serve X amount of people? And let them know what time you're coming, and they'll give you an answer. In fact, scratch the big group thing. I would just call ahead of time in general, since it's been proven they can run out of vegan cheese, and since they're a pizza place, that literally there won't be anything else for you to order unless you're going to order a pizza without any vegan cheese on it, and most people aren't going to do that. So contingency is call ahead of time, ask them if they have vegan cheese in stock, tell them what time you'll be coming by, and ask them to put some aside for you and see if they can accommodate that. As far as the price, I'm going to have to be kind of harsh. I'm going to give it a 6. I think it's way too expensive for the portions that you're given. And I do think that the pizza sizes, like the smallest one is a 10-inch and it's like $18. And it's a very tiny pizza. I'm comparing that to, like, let's say Lovin' Hut, where for, let's say, $2 more, I can get what is the biggest size that Lovin' Hut offers? It's on the screen right now. But I can get that for about $20 to $21, and it's literally 2.5 times the size of what I got here. So that price is just not matching the portions of what you're giving. So I got to be kind of harsh on that. I'm going to give that a 6. Definitely room for improvement. But that concludes this review from the Veggie Outers. I know this style is a little different, a little unorthodox because of the whole mic thing, but precautions have been taken so it won't happen again. And we're going to kind of roll with it and keep giving y'all value. But if you found value in this video, if you can give us a thumbs up, very much appreciated. And consider subscribing if you want more reviews about vegan restaurants or restaurants with vegan options in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And of course, go to www.theveggieouters.com to learn more about us and potentially join us if you're interested in doing so. Catch you in the next video, and I'll see y'all later.